Are these two plastic boxes a total waste of money and way too expensive for what they are? Let's get into it. All right guys, welcome back to the channel. On this episode, we are going to cover the Yakima Topwater boxes. I've done multiple videos on these boxes, and this is our 2-year review. We do have the fuzzy little dead mouse, whatever you want to call it, on the microphone. We are out here basically in open field where our new shop's going to be, so it's kind of windy out here. There's no trees close by, which is a good thing, so we don't have to worry about them falling on our house. But I do apologize if you do hear any wind. Hopefully the mic eliminates all that background wind noise. But it's a beautiful day. It's a little chilly, but we are going to cover the 2-year review on these boxes. And I want to get into it before we get into the actual review of these boxes after 2 years. I do want to give you some background. I have been fishing for 36 years. I have done a lot of DIY. I have purchased a lot of different options for carrying my racks in the past. I've bought conduit carriers for electrical conduit. Being I'm in the electrical trade, it was kind of a no-brainer. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get the electrical conduit box. And I modified it because those are 10 foot, basically put a big cushion in the front and stopped it around 8 feet to keep the rods from going too far back in so I couldn't reach them. I've done 8-inch rod tubes. I've done 6-inch rod tubes. I have carried them in the back of my pickup truck. When I've had my boat in the past, I also had the 6 rod rack that you'd mount on like your bulkhead of your truck or on a toolbox. I've carried rods that way. I have carried rods every possible way and have purchased anything that's out there on the market that I felt would work. So I've been through them all. And I will say that your rod boxes, like a conduit carrier, or even rod boxes are out there now from Boondocks. The conduit carriers, 8-inch rod tubes, they all work, but your reels and rods are not really protected in those items. You're just basically either in a plastic or a metal box or a plastic tube, and you have to put rod wraps on them, lure wraps, to help protect your gear, your investment. Same thing, rod boxes are not for everybody, but if you carry them in the front of your truck, that's fine. It keeps the cost down, and especially if you travel alone a lot. But if you carry your rods in the front of your vehicle, once again, either you don't keep lures on them or you have to do lure wraps to keep the treble hooks from getting into your seat or into yourself. What happens if you're involved in an accident? And a lot of freaky things happen in car accidents, and those rods go flying and you get hooks stuck in the side of your face, one in your eye. It could be pretty messy, but I have OCD, so I hate having things on the inside of my truck when I go away. When I go away or when I'm traveling in my vehicle, it's for me, my wife, my son, or a buddy. I do not want all that crap in the front of my truck. I can't handle rattling, I can't handle noises. So I've always wanted my rods and reels to be outside of the interior of my pickup truck. There is a lot of cons to carrying your rods in those tubes, an 8-inch piece of PVC, 6-inch piece of PVC, and all that, is that your main con to those is that everything gets beat up. They bounce around. If you don't really wrap your stuff very well, you get a lot of scratches. You could have rod tips that break. Same thing with carrying inside of your vehicle. You could break off the tip in your door. There's a lot of things that can happen carrying that way, and your stuff's just not really protected. So the last time I looked at 8-inch PVC, I think for a 10-inch stick, Schedule 40, it's almost 180 bucks. Anywhere from like 150 to like 200, depends where you see it at. Then you have to purchase the end caps and the actual big U-bolts, or you can bend it on a threaded rod. You can do a bunch of different things, but you have to buy, assembly to be able to mount it to your rack, to a trailer, whatever. So when you're all said and done, you're around that $300 range anyway. Now, these boxes are $629 each on the Yakima site, brand new. But like I've said in other videos, you have to either, if you can wait to that November time frame. Every year, like that pre-Black Friday sales or that November time frame, as of now, Yakima always has 20% off or more site-wide. So at these boxes at $629 each, and you take 20% off, you're around $503. If you only need one box, let's say you can get this for 500 bucks and your rod tube is 300 bucks, or any other carrier out there, the conduit carrier that I purchased in the past was 500 bucks. Can you say that these pieces of plastic are a waste of money and overpriced? In my opinion, no. They protect your rods, they are lockable, They're lightweight compared to actually putting an 8-inch piece of conduit on your rack. An 8-inch piece of Schedule 40 conduit is pretty damn heavy, guys. These boxes, I think, are only, what, 20 to 30 pounds in that range? So they're very light, and they can hold up to 75 pounds, I think, if I'm not mistaken, of gear. Another thing with those, with a rod tube or a conduit carrier, you're pretty much just, those boxes are made to just handle your rods. These boxes here allow you to carry more than just fishing rods, and we'll show you the inside of these here momentarily. So these are more than just fishing rod carriers. They are also tackle carriers. They carry my boots, they carry my rain gear, they carry everything on the bottom of these boxes, and then the rods are elevated. So your rod tubes, your rod carriers, your conduit carriers, or however you want to say it, they are just designed or really meant for just fishing rods. You're not really gonna be able to jam. You can jam like some, you know, your rain gear in there and stuff, but once again, you're jamming it in there. It's not really that organized. So in my opinion, these boxes are worth it because depending on what you spend on your rods and reels, they do so much more and they protect your investment. Once again, an 8-inch rod tube that I've made in the past, I'm lucky if I can get 6 rods to really fit in there. Now, if you take your reels off, obviously you can jam a bunch in there and keep your reels separately if you want to do it that way. But once again, $500 during that November time frame, or $300 for a rod tube that just beats the hell out of your gear. So to me, these are definitely worth it. I've been through it all. I've thought of different ways of carrying rods in the past, and to date, I cannot find a better product. Now, there's another product out there, I forgot the name of it. It's kind of the same concept, but still, in my opinion, are not as good as these. But to date, these are the best way to carry your rods, because by the time you are done jerking around like I did through the years, I can't tell you, I must have spent $2,000 on rod carriers, trying different things, just to end up purchasing these and sticking with these. These Topwater boxes from Yakima have been on numerous vehicles in this 2-year period. They've been on and off trailers. They, you know, when they're on a trailer, you know, your trailer, whether it's a utility trailer or a kayak trailer, those trailers, depending on how heavy they are, they bounce around a lot. All that bouncing up and down, the way these are designed to hold your rods in place, everything stays protected. Now, if you're in a rod tube, that stuff is just gonna be bouncing around, getting beat to hell. Now you wrap them all up. So look at it that way. You buy and purchase and make your own rod tube, right? Say you're $300 in for that already. By the time you buy rod wraps, reel wraps, it's at least a minimum, depending on how many rods and reels you have, at least another $100 or more. So by the time you're all said and done, you're almost to the price that you can get this for when they are on sale at 20% off. These are a no-brainer, guys. Like I said, I've been through them all. But we're gonna go up top here. I'm gonna show you the inside. I don't have them fully loaded right now, but I wanna show you the interior of these, how the top of these looks after 2 years. You know, these are pretty much in the sun down here in South Carolina, getting beat to hell. Our sun down here is, besides the heat, is super hot, and these things have held up pretty well for 2 years with no problem. So let's get into the top of these. We'll show you the inside of these, and I will show you what it looks like up top there. So I'm going to show you the top here without having too much of my shadow in the way, but you can see over the course of 2 years, there has been some fading to these, and these are not completely 100% plastic. The top lids are carbonite, so it's a mix of like a carbon fiber mesh with plastic to keep it more durable. So they're very durable, even though they're lightweight and you think that they're flimsy. They have been holding up great with the fading. You can see both of them basically look pretty much the same. So the sides look a little bit better because, you know, the sides are not taking that direct beating in the sun, but they both faded about the same thing. Not a big deal because you really don't see it from down below. You can see I got some marks on here because that's probably some spray wax from me cleaning my vehicle. But, you know, you do have your fading, but that's it. Doesn't mean that the integrity of these boxes have faded. And another good thing too, we'll open these up here, is that with Yakima, besides my overhaul HD rack that has the locks on them, all my boxes are keyed alike. So that makes it nice with my ladder rack, that everything's the same key. It makes it really, really nice. We'll open up the other one here real quick. Now, what I've seen in the past, or heard in the past, is that people have had problems with these springs on the end, either coming off, popping off, breaking, etc. You gotta remember, these things are covered under warranty. This little spring right here, I think I looked it up a while ago when I saw those posts. That spring right there is like $5. Not a big deal, even if it ain't under warranty, to replace them. You know, people have had problems with these hinges. Now, I don't know what everybody does with their stuff, but I don't try to like come up here and manhandle these. They are still, you know, lightweight carbonite and plastic. You know, these things are not made to be, you know, jerked on and pulled on a lot. So you just gotta be careful with this stuff. Don't come up here and slap these things wide open or forget to close it and drive down the highway and they get blown open and they break. I mean, everybody's story is different. Most people hopefully are honest, but hey, if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. But to even replace these springs, I think this hinge assembly, it's maybe like $15, guys. It's not much. I looked at it a while ago and I did another review on these. But I just want to show you guys what I have inside here. These things have been holding up great for 2 years. And here I got some rain gear. I got my measuring board. I got my NRS boots. I got my Yakima lever landing net. I had the NRS bottom waterproof bib pants. And what's nice about this, as you can see here, I have everything in here that, you know, besides where I keep my trailer and my, you know, in my deck drawers. All this stuff here is below the actual raised padded areas where you keep your fishing rods. So you can keep all this stuff in here. And I keep this box here for this little bit of gear that I don't always use every time I go out. So it's kind of like an area where I just keep it because I need it, but at least I always have it with me, but don't always use it. But what's nice about this is that when my buddies come with me, I can throw their rods in this box itself and their stuff is protected. It's locked up, out of sight, out of mind. These boxes are made supposedly to hold 8 rods and reels. I think I have 7 in here right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 in here right now. Yes, with the rods and reels on here, I could definitely get one more in here. But if you pack these properly and really push them against there, you can get more than 8 rods in here. You're not gonna be able to get more than 8 rods with reels on them and any 8-inch rod tube, 6-inch rod tube, etc. So they hold a lot. Right now, I don't have my gear and tackle in here because a lot of that stuff I've been keeping down in my deck drawers, and it's gonna be going to my trailer eventually again. But when I was just running in the back of my truck primarily, I was keeping my torpedo motor in here, my battery, all my gear basically on this side. And what I did is I removed this middle cross piece. Had all my stuff on this side. I had all my gear and tackle on this side and some other things and my rods. So I was able to carry everything that I needed for kayak fishing without even utilizing my deck drawers and my kayak in the back of the truck with just these 2 boxes. So they're more than just rod boxes. I don't think they're overpriced. If you look what's out there in the market, they are pretty much priced, if not cheaper than what other things are out there on the market right now. For 2 years, I'm very happy with these boxes. They've held up great. The fading, I was going to expect that anyway, especially being black. But besides the fading, guys, my hinges, my springs, everything has held up great. And like I said, these boxes have been on my trailer multiple times, actually multiple different trailers. It's been on and off my truck and they are super easy to take on and off. Now I have basically the T-bolt that goes in the Yakima box with just the thumb screw on the inside. I'm not utilizing the, you know, the U-bracket. I'll kind of come down here and show you. You can see there's no U-bracket underneath here. So it gives it a clean install. And just think, just one little T-bolt and one little T-handle holds this box on there. And I do, you know, 75, 80, most of the time 75. So I go highway speeds and these boxes do not move. They design these boxes with just utilizing that hidden feature that you can utilize to mount these boxes. They engineered it well. They've been holding out, handling very well for 2 years. If I can get 3, 4, 5 years out of these boxes, I'll be super happy. But if I get 3 years out of them and, you know, something cracks, something, you know, it's from being in the sun, I'm not going to be mad about it. I still think that they are worth every penny. Like I said, everybody has different stories and different issues with how they break them. You know, one person breaks something and this kind of spreads. You know how it is. All the bad stuff spreads fast and all the bad comments spread fast. And, you know, once one person starts, it spreads like wildfire. And all of a sudden, these things are pieces of junk. They are not. They are worth every penny. And even I have purchased these during the November timeframe and got these both for, you know, $500 each, so $1,000. Most people can get away with just one. I have 2 just because I wanted to have more capabilities at one point to carry my torpedo motor in here. That's on one of my other videos for the Yakima Topwater boxes. So I was kind of using this more as a storage box than an actual rod box for the other one. You know, these things are great for skis. You don't have to just use them for fishing poles, guys. You can take out, you know, some of these cross supports. I would leave, you know, at least one in the middle or something just to kind of give it some integrity. But you can take these completely, all 3 of them completely out. out and, you know, keep some stuff in here. I think that, like I said, they're rated for 75 pounds, and use them for skis, poles, whatever, push poles, power poles, everything. I mean, they're 8 feet long. They have these end caps here supposed to protect your rod tips. Once again, these rubber bands being in the heat, they had none of them broken on me, but once again, you can replace these and just give it a quick little twist, and it keeps this, you know, keeps everything a little bit tighter, keeps a little bit of that slackness that you do have out of these sometimes. I used to keep these things rod wrapped when I used to put my rods in here, but I don't even do that anymore. These things have been great just being in here with no rod wraps on it, so it's one less step of you having to take them off, your lure's getting stuck in them, and I just been leaving them just as is in the rod, the Topwater box here, and they've been holding out great, guys, and nothing's been broken, never had any broken tips. All my reels do not get scratched up. I just think it's the best option to carry your gear and your rods and everything else. So that's it, guys. That's my opinion. Everybody has different opinions. Everybody has different budgets. A lot of people out there may still think that these things are overpriced. They're not worth it. They're pieces of junk. So be it. This is just me telling you my personal opinion, my 2 years experience with it, my opinion about having every other option that's possibly been out there. And these things blow every other option out of the water. These may not be for everybody. You can keep your stuff in the front of your truck if you like, and that's how you want to carry it, and don't have to buy any boxes, and then they're locked up inside your truck. Understandable. But for how I travel, the amount of people I travel with, and my OCD of not having stuff inside, I want my gear outside of my vehicle. My vehicle is for people, possibly luggage, a little bit of snacks and coffee, and that's it. I do not want any of that stuff inside of my truck, so I opt to keep all my gear outside. So let me know, drop some comments, let me know your personal experience with it. If you had some issues with it, did you do a warranty claim? Did Yakima kind of blow you off? And I hear that a lot. Not about Yakima, I'm just talking about warranty claims in general. Oh, I emailed them and nobody ever got back to me. You know, there's still people that actually man phones. I know it's hard to believe. When I have a warranty claim, I just don't rely on social media to message people. I just don't rely on email. I also actually make a phone call. Believe it or not, I still talk to people on the phone. So if you know, I've heard stories in the past about other warranty claims that, oh, they blew me off, they never reached out to me, I just threw the thing out, it never worked again, forget it, screw them, that company sucks. Listen, not every email goes through. Sometimes things get lost in junk mail, etc. You know, relying on social media to reach out to companies, once again, that's a really bad way of going about it. Do an email, follow up with a phone call, then follow up with an email if you have to. Overall, I haven't had to do any warranty claims with Yakima. That's my opinion, guys. Like I said, drop a comment. Let me know your personal experience with these things. Let me know if you had any problems. Let me know if you have it and you'll love it. You know, positive comments go a long ways. Drop that thumbs up. As always, be safe on the water, and I'll catch you in the water. See you guys soon. Looking forward to this year of some good reviews and some fun with you guys. See you soon.